first videos that I made talking about some of my favorite horror movies and TV shows. So if you enjoy this video, please feel free to seek that one out. It seemed to get pretty good feedback. And if you enjoy my channel, please let me know that you care by subscribing yourself for the horror phenomenon that takes you back to where it all began. The cameras are on and recording the chilling activity when evil begins to terrorize young sisters Katie and Christy for the first time. Number 4. When a spine-chilling classic will haunt you from its early nightmarish moments to its exhilarating climax. It's a pretty good one. I think I do prefer the originals, but it's pretty good. You can see this terrifying clown on the cover. Terrifying. Terrifying clown. This one doesn't have very good tapping sound, so we're done with her. The next movie is one I'm sure a lot of you have seen, and if you haven't, please, please, please give it a try. It's really spooky. It's The Conjuring before The Conjuring. It's the people that made The Conjuring. The Conjuring. Annabelle. Which is based on a true story, but in real life, Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll, and they say that if you mock her, things are not going to end well, kind of like Robert the doll. Look him up. And this movie is very creepy and one of those jumpy horror movies. It gets inside your head and stays there in this thriller based on the terrifying doll from The Conjuring. The beginning of that movie, they talk about Annabelle. John has found the perfect gift for his wife Mia, a rare vintage doll. I don't know why, but I'm getting goosebumps right now. Do you guys ever get... Okay, tell me the truth about this. I said to someone the other day, because we were watching that Netflix show about after death or something like that, and I said, do you feel alone? Because I never feel like alone. And there's a very specific feeling that I get when I absolutely know that there is a spirit in the room. Like when you had an old static real. If you're real, do something, do something, do something to me. And Ed asked him to leave. He asked him to leave, and I guess he got in a motorcycle accident on his way home. And I want to say, but I don't remember for sure. I don't remember for sure. I want to say he passed away, but the woman that was on the bike with him is alive to tell the story. created this machine in the early 90s that allows these little metal balls, little metal balls to go up into the tornado to map its patterns, just to find out more about the tornadoes so that they can create better early warning systems. And the machine that they have created is called Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, referencing The Wizard of Oz. But it's a wonderful movie. I'm sure most of you have seen it. The last movie that I brought in here today is also more of a thriller. Queen of the Damned, and it's got Aaliyah in it, who unfortunately passed away soon after. She's a singer. She was a singer in the early 2000s, late 90s. She was trying to get more on the movie scene, and unfortunately she passed away in a plane crash. But this is a really good movie. It's based off of Anne Rice's vampire novels, the one about Lestat, which I love and I definitely recommend. Do you guys hear that wind? Let's read a little bit. Erotic, scary, gothic, exciting, moreover, Dracula, the queen has arrived. It's her time, her place. The wickedly regal mother of all vampires is ready again to rule. Aaliyah plays the title role in this stylish shocker, based on Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. Stuart Townsend portrays Lestat, the undead anti-hero previously seen in the movie version of Interview with the Vampire. This time, Lestat finds acceptance in a tattooed and pierced world. He's a rock star, and his intoxicating goth riffed sound wreaks